Hello and welcome to my ranting and rambling about a game with a vampiric GoPro running through the 9 circles of hell as seen as the 14th century fanfic known as Dante's Inferno. I hope you enjoy, and remember, mankind is dead, blood is fuel, and hell is full.
Don't let your kids watch it!
This is the limbo layer of hell. In Dante's Inferno, limbo is an endless field of grass filled with unbaptized people who weren't sinful enough to go deeper, but also weren't baptized so they couldn't go to heaven as well. In Ultrakill, limbo is an area with large screens giving the illusion of the endless field of grass. This place isn't real. Anyways, this level starts with Claire de Lune playing, a stark difference to the other levels where their music was more louder, more bombastic, much more in the style of breakcore with drum samples and some dude going ham on them. Through the level, as you're collecting skulls, you see something pass by you, but eventually you collect enough skulls to enter the arena, and in through the window comes V2. V2 is meant to be you, but better. Only problem, you were designed for war, and she was designed for defense. Now, as I ramble on about the music in this fight, enjoy the background visuals. The instruments used in the track verses are electric guitars, bass, synthesizers, and drum sets. All samples. Well, at least from what I can tell. For the first few seconds, it's just the guitar. Before everything else kicks in. The track looping in some areas, and not really, but it's the perfect, well, near perfect music for a battle between near equals, if they do get out to see which one is better, the older model or the newer one. Now, as you fight V2 using your arsenal, eventually you tear her arm off, and she flees, and you continue, but as you go through Lust, dealing with King Minos and his shenanigans, she's plotting in the background. We'll get back to her after we deal with an archangel. In Dante's Inferno, gluttony is depicted as a land where the gluttonous wallow in putrid slush and battered by icy rain. Needless to say, in Ultrakill, gluttony doesn't exactly look like that. It looks like meat. Anyways, this level starts off with you being looked at from the top of a tower by a giant eye. Then, as you reach the top of that tower, you hear...
Machine, turn back now. The layers of this palace are not for your kind. Turn back, or you will be crossing the will of God. Your choice is made. As the righteous hand of the Father, I shall rend you apart, and you will become inanimate once more. Behold, the power of an angel!
And the music kicks in. Pianos, violins, and the chanting of hymns. Can't exactly tell what kind of chant it is, but I believe it's meant to sound holy, as well as drums, bass, and sounds like an electric guitar. It's not obvious at first, but it's in there. You can hear it. In most Christian religions, Gabriel is an archangel, a vessel for God's will, or even a saint. But here, he gets upset when he loses to you, a mere object. When you beat him, he cusses you out.
An imperfect. What? How can this be? Bested by this thing? You insignificant! It's not over!
Essentially cursing you with a reversal of, may your days be long and your hardships few.
May your woes be many and your days few.
But you continue on your way, and Gabriel returns to the council. Disgrace, humiliation. A simple piano theme. Gabriel on his knees in front of the council. They took control in God's absence, and they removed the light of the Lord from Gabriel. Essentially a death sentence for angels, unless he can kill you, a machine, a mere object, an imperfection to be cleansed, something that's less than nothing. He will die within the day. The music starts with plucking an electric guitar, which sounds like violin, giving a feeling of rising tension or drama. Despite not having a face, and as she cracks her knuckles, the fight starts. All the other instruments perfect for this music. But both of you changed. You, V1, got a few updates to your argument, but so did she. She watched the recording from your last battle and used your tactics against you. Now, she can shoot the coins she tosses, even the ones that you toss. But even with her new tricks, she can't beat you. So she flees. Eventually, finishing off this dramatic duel, you win. She lands, but you land on your feet, and you take the arm she made herself. Now, I should note that this song in the actual playlist is called a reprise, as it is just verses, but done noticeably better. And here, greed is different from how it's depicted in Dante's Inferno. In here, it's a vast desert with pyramids and sinners being punished with Sisyphean tasks of rolling boulders up pyramids for all eternity. But in Dante's Inferno, it's a place where those consumed by greed must carry around weights filled with their earthly possessions. It's just something neat. Doesn't really matter, but I thought it was cool. Anyways, on to Wrath. This song starts when you raise a cruise ship from the bottom of the ocean Styx. Yes, that is correct. Ocean Styx. Not river, ocean. In Dante's Inferno, the river Styx is in the Wrath layer of hell, where those who suppressed their wrath were buried under others who had done the same, and those who had no control over their wrath fought others for any scraps of land. We will see the consequences of this later, but for now, we fight the ferryman. This music is much more classic breakcore. We just have a dude going wild on the drum sample with an electric guitar in the background to punctuate this fight. Interestingly, you don't have to fight the ferryman. If you know your Greek myths, you can toss him a coin and he lets you on board. I didn't do this in this footage because, well, I still need to fight him on foot. Anyways, before we go on to heresy, we have to deal with the sudden influx of souls. The Leviathan, a massive water serpent made of many souls coming into existence together at the bottom of the ocean. It has a pretty good track, but I P-ranked this fight without even trying, so we are going to read along. Now, before we even fight Gabriel in the next level, we hear him talking to us.
Machine, I know you're here. I can smell the insolent stench of your blood-stained hands. I await you down below. Come to me.
And honestly, Heresy is a perfect layer for this fight. I mean, he's been cast out of heaven because he was beaten by an object, and, well, I'm just gonna let him do the talking.
Lust, all gone, with gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. As for you, you've taken everything from me, machine, and now all that remains is perfect hatred. Machine, I will cut you down, rake you apart, splay the gore of your profane form across the stars. I will grind you down until the very sparks cry for mercy. My hands shall relish ending you here and now.
Gabriel, the Archangel, the messenger of God's will, cast down. And this track is perfectly called the death of God's will. And honestly, it's an inverse of what we heard with the first fight, where the drums and guitar are more at the forefront, but the pianos and violin are still in the background. Same with the chanting. Still there, but not as obvious. And with this battle, with hatred in his heart where the light of God once was, he still cannot beat you. So he goes to repeat the curse, though with less fervor and hatred this time.
Twice beaten by an object. Twice! I've only known the taste of victory, but this taste... Is this my blood? I've never known such relief. I need some time to think. We will meet again, machine. May your woes be many, and your days few.
And as you continue on to the violence layer, Gabriel goes back to kill the angelic council, who beg for their life. But Gabriel is here to send a message. The new enemies we see in the Violence Slayer see violence as an art form, as beauty. In the book that we see in the first level, it says, "The world is your canvas, so take up your brush and paint the world red." Now, the mannequin is not the form the sinners of this layer were given, but rather forcefully shoved into, like a night guard at a certain pizza restaurant. And they accept this new form, and due to others who fall asleep in this maze, I was done for themselves. Now, for the music is the best part of this layer. At least to me it is, and to a lot of other people it seems so as well. We can hear the anger and rage in the song, but also the sorrow in the track, filled with emotion. The kind of song that's meant to be played with an orchestra, but it's perfectly done with guitars, drums, violins. But I honestly really hate that fight, and the second level is kinda eh. So I'm just gonna let the music play for a bit over the gameplay, and then we'll move on to violence against the self. Do you know what that nets you? A one-way ticket to being a tree in hell, an unmoving, unwilling witness, only able to speak when broken and bleeding. In ultrakill, it's no different. You're stuck here, watching as others are torn apart and stuffed into mannequins, as you watch, unable to scream. only being watered with the blood of others. This track. Suffering leaves, suffering leaves. I believe that the second leaves is pronounced like leaves on a tree, as that is what the sinners have become. Trees with absent leaves. And honestly, I believe if you listen to this, you'll understand what I mean. Wow, that got sad at the end. But overall, Ultrakill is one of my favorite games ever, and I hope seeing this soundtrack you see why. And this was done for a school project, so if you're not in the class that I'm in and watching this, hi. If you haven't gotten Ultrakill yet, why not? It's only 32 Canadian dollars on Steam. It's most likely on sale, and as of recording this, it's not even fully out yet. The latest level is 7-4, War Without Reason. So, you know, I hope this did well, got me a good enough grade in school. And if you're just some random watching this video, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.